Start the new chapter, Newton's laws of motion. Before starting this chapter, firstly you have to know what is force. Force is the external agency which tends to change the state of rest or motion of the body. So force is that external agency which changes or tends to change the state of rest or motion of the body. Suppose a body is at rest. By using that external agency, we can set the body in motion. Then we can say the force is applied on the body. Or suppose a body is in motion. It is moving in this direction. And from the opposite direction, external agency is applied, and because of this, the state of motion is changed into state of rest. Then we can say the force is applied. Now, various effects of force. Various effects of force. That means what a force can do. Various effects of force. First one, force can change the state of the body. State of the body. If a body is at rest, force can change it in motion, or if a body is in motion, force can change it into rest. Second, force can change the shape of the body. Force can change the shape of the body. Third, force can change the direction of motion of the body. Suppose a body is moving at a particular direction, and by the application of force, the direction of the body is changed. And last of all, force can increase or decrease the speed of the body. Suppose a body is moving in a particular direction and force is applied in the same direction, means the direction in which body is moving, then its speed is increased. And suppose a body is moving at a particular direction and force is applied in the direction opposite to it, then the speed of the body is decreased. So these are the various effects by which force can apply it. Now, next topic is inertia. Inertia means unwillingness of a body to change its state. Inertia is the unwillingness of a body to change its state. Means it is the property of the body by virtue of which it wants to be in its own state. That is the inertia. Inertia is classified in three groups. One is inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Inertia of rest means unwillingness of a body to change its state of rest. Means if a body is at rest, it wants to be at rest. It doesn't want to change its state of rest. Then we can say it is inertia of rest. And inertia of motion, unwillingness of a body to change its state of motion. Suppose a body is moving, it wants to be in motion, and that property is called inertia of motion. And third, inertia of direction. Body wants to move in its own direction, means the direction in which body starts to move. Body wants to continue in this direction, and this is called inertia of direction. Now, it is said that mass is the measure of inertia. It is said that mass is the measure of inertia. That means inertia is directly proportional to the mass of the body. That means greater the mass, greater will be the inertia, less the mass, less will be the inertia. And that's why it is said that mass is the measure of inertia. Now we have to start Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws. Firstly, we will explain Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion states that a body at rest wants to be at rest a body in motion continues the motion in a straight line unless an unbalanced force acts on it. That means, suppose a body is at rest, it is not in motion, it wants to be at rest. Suppose a body is in motion, it always moves in a straight line in the same direction unless its motion is compelled by an unbalanced force, and that is Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion is called law of inertia. Newton's first law of motion is called law of inertia, because inertia is the unwillingness of the body to change its state, and same thing is stated in Newton's first law, and that's why Newton's first law of motion is called law of inertia. Newton's first law of motion gives the definition of force. From Newton's first law, we can find out the definition of force, and this is all about the Newton's first law of motion. Now, next topic is momentum. Momentum is a product of mass and velocity. Momentum is a product of mass and velocity. It is denoted by P. The momentum P is equal to mv. Momentum is a product of mass and velocity. So P is equal to mv. Now, different cases. Suppose two bodies are there and they have the same mass. First body A its mass is m and it is moving with the velocity v1 and its momentum is p1. So p1 is equal to mv1. Another body is there, that is B, having the same mass m, moving with the velocity v2 and having the momentum p2. So p2 is equal to mv2. Now we divide this two equation, we get p1 by p2, that is equal to mv1 by mv2. Cancel. So p1 by p2 is equal to v1 by v2. If p1 by p2 is equal to v1 by v2, that indicates that momentum is directly proportional to velocity of the body. So momentum is directly proportional to the velocity of the body when mass of two bodies are kept constant. Now, if we represent it graphically, and here we have to draw momentum velocity graph. Graph will be a straight line. Why is it straight line? Because momentum is directly proportional to velocity. That's why momentum velocity graph is a straight line, and here mass is constant. This is our first case. So you consider it is as case 1. Now second case, case 2. Now body A having the mass m1, moving with the velocity v and its momentum is p1. Another body is B, its mass is m2, moving with the same velocity v, having a momentum p2. So in that case, P1 is equal to m1v and P2 equal to m2v. So P1 by P2 is equal to m1v by m2v. Vv cancelled. P1 by P2 is equal to m1 by m2. So the indication is this: momentum is directly proportional to the mass of the body, and if we represent it on graph, momentum mass graph will be a straight line indicating that momentum is directly proportional to mass of the body, and here velocity is constant. So these are two different cases regarding momentum of the body.